What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Mutt Tips. I'm your host, Sean Taylor from The Made Up Theater, and before we jump in, make sure to like the video down below, comment with somebody you would like addressed in a future video, and as always, subscribe on YouTube down below to be informed of upcoming videos and live streams. Ring that bell. But let's jump into today's topic, response. A good question to ask yourself as a beginning to advanced improviser is, what are you more comfortable with? Initiating an idea or responding to an idea? And a lot of people I talk to say responding can be a little bit more anxiety-inducing, right? Because initiating, well, you go on stage, maybe you have an idea kind of set in your head and you just kind of spit it out. But responding to an idea can be a little stressful because maybe you have a different idea in your head, and thus you have to drop that idea to actively respond to what was just laid out before you. And response, there's pressure, right? It is true improvisation responding to a choice that your partner made, which is a little stressful, right? But let's practice responding in improvised scenes. Today's video will be a little more interactive, so play along with me if you'd like. The first form of response that I want to focus on is responding through action. Because action, I think, is a secret weapon for improvisers that we sometimes forget about. We don't have to respond with dialogue. You can respond with action, either environment work, with your body posture. It could be accompanied by emotion, and technically with a line of dialogue, but right now I'm not gonna focus on that. I'm gonna give you a line of dialogue, and we're also gonna focus on several responses, okay? Think of it almost like new choice, where you're gonna try to do a different response with a different form of action. And this is just to show that there's not just one way to respond to a line. There's so many countless opportunities. And the cool thing is your response to a scene partner's initiation will help guide where the scene goes next, right? Sometimes it informs what the actual scene will be about. I'm gonna provide the same line of dialogue 3 times, okay? And allow 5 to 7 seconds for your time to respond, again, through action. You can add like sounds too, like, an emotional response with just a noise. You can also do dialogue technically. I'm not gonna do that for this little demonstration I'm about to do, but whatever feels right. But the emphasis, the main focus of this is going to be on your action-based response. And here's an example. Unfortunately, due to budget cuts, I'm gonna have to let you go. Unfortunately, due to budget cuts, I'm gonna have to let you go. Unfortunately, due to budget cuts, I'm gonna have to let you go. So that's an example, 3 different responses that come from the same line of dialogue, okay? So the first one was just like, idly kind of just being like, going back to work and just kind of shrugging it off, some defiance a little bit, but it's more subdued defiance. Like, you're not gonna fire me, whatever. And that might provoke a response in your scene partner where they'll look, no, I'm serious, I have to let you go. And that's a cool response. And the second response was totally silent, just grabbing keys and locking a door. What did that mean? We'll kind of figure it out along the way. Like maybe, I'm locking the door to the office where I'm saying, whatever, you're gonna fire me, you're never gonna leave this office again, Or maybe it's like locking a door to the bathroom because he knows that he has to go to the bathroom or something like that. Multiple things can come from that response as well, endless possibilities. And the third and final one was just strictly just punching a hole through the wall, And that's a big moment, right? It's almost like a level 10 response to a line right at the top of a scene. So again, there's endless possibilities. Let's practice this right now. Again, I'm going to give you a different line of dialogue, and I will allow, some time for you to actively respond to my choice. All right, let's practice. I'm gonna give you the same line 3 times and respond 3 different times with 3 different actions, okay? Good luck. Well, this is the last of our rations. I want you to have it. Well, this is the last of our rations. I want you to have it. Well, this is the last of the rations. I want you to have it. Cool, how was that? Let me know in the comments. Next is responding through emotion. This is big, and it does sometimes go hand in hand with action, but for this, I'm gonna give you a line of dialogue, and all I want you to do is respond with an emotional sound. Don't worry about dialogue. I don't wanna figure out what this, response means. I just want you to settle into some different emotional response, okay? Same as last time, I'm gonna give you a line and just 3 different times throw in a new response with a different emotional choice. Again, a sound. It could be like, something like that. Whatever feels good to you. Even sometimes go with an emotional response that maybe wouldn't be a natural response, Like, for example, if somebody comes in and says, I lost the puppy, generally you would respond sad or mad, but maybe you try like, haha. That's interesting because it's not a response that we would go to based on that information. And it unlocks a whole new realm of a different scene.
You said I'd get 50% of the loot. This isn't 50%. You said I'd get 50% of the loot. This isn't 50%. You said I'd get 50% of the loot. This isn't 50%.
Awesome, how was that? Emotions, I think, if you can find and settle into an emotion right at the top of the scene, I feel like the scene becomes 100 times easier because you have an emotional point of view. And this emotion doesn't have to stay this way. Emotion ebbs and flows, it changes over time, but just knowing where you are grounds you, right? You emotionally know how you feel about something, so now you have context for how to respond when you get to the dialogue. And lastly, let's just practice rapid fire varying up your responses, okay? I'm gonna just throw out a line of dialogue. Before I do that though, I'm gonna give you a way to respond. So you're gonna know how to respond. I will give you the line, and then you respond however you want, as long as it fits in with the inspiration that I gave you. This is just a way to just practice like different ways to respond at the top of a scene. Let's try it out. Respond by repeating what I just said.
I don't think we're gonna survive this battle.
Respond by repeating what I said, but attach a strong emotion to it. You embarrass me this evening. Respond by asking a question.
Congratulations, I'm promoting you to Senior Vice President.
Respond with an internal line of dialogue in your head. The way to show this is you would maybe turn towards the audience and your improviser buddy will hear this, but their character will assume does not hear it. I'll give you an example to show what I mean.
We've lost communication with NASA. Looks like we're not going back to Earth.
Oh my God, I'm here with him forever. Looks like we'll get that first date now. That's an example to show what I mean. Again, it's an internal line that's being spoken outward to the audience, as well as to your improviser. But again, the character does not hear this. Now you try. Give me one good reason why I should wear this dress. For the next one, respond with an incredibly strong character choice. Do a voice, a character motion, something you haven't done before. This is a great way to respond in a scene because it immediately gets you in a different frame of mind and boom, you can jump into something exciting and new, something you haven't done before.
I dub thee Knight of the Round Table. Rise!
Now respond as an incredibly boring character. Oh, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, starting now. Now respond with a sound effect, okay? Think of it like a character quirk, a personality trait. This character does this sound effect not just once, you will do it throughout the scene. Whoa, holy cow, I haven't seen you since high school. As you can see, the potential for responses is endless. There's so many different ways to do it. It doesn't just have to be, oh, someone gives me a line of dialogue, I respond with a line of dialogue. It could be so simple, like the sound effect. How was that? Was that strange? It kind of might be strange, but I've started scenes before with a simple choice that kind of sometimes came out in the form of a sound. Like somebody says something to me and I go, yeah, you know? And the audience looks at that and thinks, that's weird, you know? It's out of the ordinary. It's not how, you might respond to somebody saying, hey, do you have change for $1? And as the scene progresses, I go back to that sound. I make it a part of the dance. It's not just a little hiccup I had at the start. It is literally a part of the scene. So treat your responses as part of the scene. They are not, dispensable. We make our responses, all of our responses, a part of the scene and meant to be. Deliberate choices that we make, even if we might in our gut feel like, oh, is this the right choice? It is. It's the right choice. It's the right response. And that concludes this episode of Mud Tips. Thanks a lot for checking it out. Again, like, comment, subscribe, check out our live streams on Saturday night, and I'll see you next time for another episode of Mud Tips, baby. Bye.